Recently, you would have heard of a veteran investor mentioning in one of his interviews that mutual funds are a scam. This attracted many eyeballs, and many investors started listening to this. In fact, few recent equity market investors even accepted it as reality because of the flat market performance in the last 20 months. Now, let's understand what's the reason behind these thoughts. There are two aspects to consider in this. The first one, now say FIs have been sellers for the last few years. Indian investors are buying their holdings and eventually are left holding the baby. That is the first part. In the second part, many leaders, fund managers keep saying that Indian economy is growing. The country has good demographic dividends, infrastructure is building up and getting ready. And government is even talking about Amrit Kal in 2000 by 2047. Now, last 30 years, equity markets have delivered around 14% return, and our nominal GDP growth is around 12%. One thing to consider in this is that never anyone has mentioned that the cyclicality of the market will go away. तेजी के बाद मंदी आएगी and मंदी के बाद वापस तेजी. I have completed 22 years in capital markets and I have seen that in the long term, say 5 years, only 18 months make money. But which are those 18 months? Nobody knows it. Also, in the initial years of my career, I remember that we were worried about FIs holding Indian businesses and Indians were only customers of these businesses, right? What we are seeing now is a flip. In the growing economy, we are not only the consumers but also becoming the shareholders in these companies. Another point to look at is within the Indian listed businesses, promoter holding is around 50%. Around 16 to 17% is with FIs, and the 18% is around held by DIs, and rest about 12-13% is with retail. Now, within this, promoter is not doing buying and selling on a daily basis. It is the FIs and DIs buying and selling to each other. Now, within that, FI is also not one individual. They are to thousands, and not all are selling in tandem. In the last 14 to 15 years, except for the last 2 to 3 years, most of the time FIs have been buyers. And even from a large investor to a small investor, everyone follows momentum to an extent. If one looks at these numbers during 2000, say 2000 to 2010, people used to think that US is over. Only emerging markets will do well. But after 2010, US markets are experiencing almost like an unending rally, and all money has gone there. Finally, mutual funds or SIPs are not scams. They, in fact, have been a boon to many investors. And if one does not believe that, one and has the expertise, knowledge, the source of first hand information, research capabilities, understanding balance sheets, monitoring earnings, etc., then buy individual stocks. And if not, mutual funds sahi hai.